بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله وعلى أهل بيتك المظلومين صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة ويا عبرة كل مؤمن ومؤمنة يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والذين يقولون ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. A second with your loudest voices. There is parenting, which is just doing your basic duties as a mother, as a father. Feeding, showering, taking your kids to school, helping them with their homework, changing their clothes, for example, going shopping for them once in a while, and that's it. And then there is successful parenting. There's parenting and there is successful parenting. Doing your absolute best as a father, as a mother, making the best effort to parent, to raise your children. Most choose the first, regular parenting. Just doing an average job. Just getting by with your kids, feeding them, teaching them, taking them to school, making sure they sleep early at night, get up, go back to school, and that's it. Why? Because it's easier. Regular parenting is easier. And surprisingly, still many parents fail at just regular parenting. The basics, they still fail. They still don't get it right. While it is the second that brings results. Successful parenting. Excellent parenting. Being the best mother that you can be. Being the best father that you can be. Otherwise, everyone puts their kids in school. Have you seen a family, a mother or father that puts their kids on the sidewalk? No. They all put their kids in school. Everyone goes on a vacation once in a while. Everyone feeds their kids. Even drug addicts put a roof over their kids. Everyone protects their children from burglars and provide for their children. Everyone does this. This is regular parenting. This is something that everyone does. Muslim, Christian, Jewish, Hindu, Buddhism, despite what your religion is. Everyone does the basic parenting. But not everyone can safely say I've done my job. I'm a proud mother. I'm a proud father. I've done my job. I've gotten my kids to where they need to be. I can finally take a rest as a parent. How many can say this? I do not need to worry about my children's spiritual well-being. Can we say this? Is there a mother and father that can say, I've done my job, alhamdulillah, my kids are exactly where they need to be. I've raised good mu'mineen as kids. How many can actually say this? Not many. Not many. How many can say, I fully trust my teenage son or daughter? They could go wherever they'd like, whoever they would like to go and see, and I trust them. I know they won't do a mistake. I know they won't goof up. How many can actually say this? How many can say that my kids can go out on a Saturday night with their friends and come back at 2 in the morning, and I know they won't miss their salah, they won't do anything stupid, they'll have clean fun, good fun, and they won't commit any mistakes, won't do anything wrong? How many can say this? Not many. How many parents can say that I trust my son or daughter when they're on their phone? I know they won't do anything stupid when they're always on their phone. I trust what they post on social media. I trust what they say in DMs and private messages. I know they won't do anything stupid. I trust them because I've raised them properly. I know that they will never disappoint. How many can say this? How many can say that I've done my job? Not many. Not many can say I trust my son and daughter. They can go out with whoever they want. They can text whoever they want. They can stay up as long as they want. But I trust them that they'll pray. They won't make a mistake. They won't embarrass me. Someone in the community will never come and tell me, guess what your son has done? Or guess what I caught your daughter doing? How many can actually say this? Not many. Tonight, my dear brothers and sisters, as we gather on the night of Ashura, this sacred night, a night where the sky weeps and the earth weeps and humans weep and animals weep for the tragedy of Aba Abdullah. Let us discuss rules for successful parenting, not regular parenting, not your average parenting, but successful parenting, where we can raise kids, children, youth, teens, and make sure that we'll be proud of them. To say that when I sleep at night, I know that my son and daughter are safe. They won't make a mistake. I can give them their phone and fully trust them. How many of us can reach this degree? We will attempt, my dear brothers and sisters, to discuss rules for successful parenting, not just any type of parenting, but parenting based on personal experiences from community members, from different individuals, different communal experiences on what is successful parenting. Wa sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Rule number 1, to be available for your children. How many of us are actually available for our children? We actually spend time with them. We make time for them. We give them some of our attention. Some of us, we need to slow down. We talked about this last night, keeping balance in life. When we talked about defining success, many of us define success in economic terms. Building wealth. I said this is success, but it's part of success. It's not all of success. Being wealthy is part of success. Sometimes we need to slow down. Business will always be there. Your business won't go anywhere. You will always have time to work. You will always have time for investments. The stock market is not going anywhere. Bitcoin is not going anywhere. Crypto is not going anywhere. You'll always have time to make money. But your time with your children is limited because they grow up very fast. They grow up very fast. You will not always have time for your children. Every day that passes by, that's one less day with your young son or daughter, because they grow up extremely fast. They will not wait for you. They will not put time on pause for you so that you watch your child grow up. No, they grow fast before you know it. We were busy making deals, busy in business. We were busy making money. All of a sudden, my 3-year-old is 6, and then he's 9, and then he's 12, and I didn't realize. I didn't get a chance to play with my child. I didn't get a chance to enjoy my moments with my baby, with my son, with my daughter. How did they grow up so fast? When did this happen? I'll tell you when. When we were busy with business. When we were busy with dunya. When we were busy making money, we forgot our children. With the blink of an eye, they grow up. Today they're 6, tomorrow they're 16. They grow up. They grow up very quickly. That's why when we see some of the kids in our community, oh, mashallah. When did this happen? It happened when we're not paying attention. That's why, my dear friends, your kids today, tomorrow, they're elders. Tomorrow, they're adults. Invest some time in them. As much as time that you put in your business and in your money, invest some time in your kids. Today, they're 6, tomorrow, they're 16. Today, they're kids, you bring them to the majlis. Tomorrow, they're getting ready for marriage. They're getting engaged. And then they're having their kids before you know it. Treasure every moment that you have with your son or daughter. You know, when they ask for a bedtime story, if you have a baby that wants a bedtime story, treasure that moment, because that's not going to last. Because in with a blink of an eye, they don't need a bedtime story because they have TikTok. Before going to bed, they're on their TikTok. And God knows what they're watching. God knows what they're watching. Either bad stuff or scary stuff. I know a lot of parents, they say, please pray for my son or daughter. They can't sleep at night. I tell them, you know what it is? Take away the iPad before they sleep. They watch crazy stuff. God knows what it is. Take the iPad and they'll sleep like a baby. And we think there's something wrong with our kids. No, there's nothing wrong with our kids. It's the TikTok. It's the crazy stuff that they put. Not just on the videos, in games. They scare them. They scare little children. Before you know it, they don't need a bed story because they have their TikTok and their social media and they don't need you anymore. If you still have a child that says, Daddy, look, treasure that moment because that's not going to last very long. Because after a while, there's no more daddy, look, and they want your attention. Look, it's a horse. Look, no. They become silent all of a sudden. All of a sudden, the house becomes silent. There's no more talking. There's AirPods, what do you call them? AirPods, thank you. And the house is silent. The house is silent. No one talks anymore. Treasure these moments. Treasure these moments. Because they pass by very quickly. Now that they want your attention, make use of it. Because tomorrow, you're going to want their attention and they won't give it to you. They won't give it to you because you're not fun. You're boring. You're irrelevant. When they want your attention, when they want our attention the most, now we don't give it to them. Then we realize our mistake. Thus, my dear friends, let's make time for them. That's why I say bring children to the majlis. Bring them. Even if they play around, let them play around. Let them get accustomed to majalis. Even if they have a good time in the majlis and they disrupt us, that's still okay. Why? Because it will keep a good memory of them. For them, when they grew up, I had a good time at the majlis of Imam Hussein. I saw my best friends at the majlis of Imam Hussein. They will have the best memories at our majalis. We bring our kids. We have to sit down, talk to them, spend time with them, take them out with us. This is important. Look at Luqman. Luqman, there's an entire chapter in the Holy Quran called Luqman, Surah Luqman. Luqman, there's a disagreement whether he was a prophet or not a prophet. But he was definitely wise. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا لُقْمَانَ الْحِكْمَةِ. We gave him wisdom. One of the good things about Luqman is that he would sit his son and he'd speak to him directly. وَإِذْ قَالَ لُقْمَانُ لِابْنِهِ وَهُوَ يَعِظُهُ. Luqman would sit, he would have an alone time with his son. A time to advise, a time to tutor, a time to coach. How many of us coach our kids? Give life advice. What to do, what not to do, what will face them in the future. We don't coach anymore. We're too busy, and they're too busy as well. We don't make time for our kids, and our kids don't make time for us either. That's how it is. وَإِذْ قَالَ لُقْمَانُ لِابْنِهِ وَهُوَ يَعْظُهُ. When Luqman said to his son, as he was advising him, يَا بُنَيَّ لَا تُشْرِكْ بِاللَّهِ إِنَّ الشِّرْكَ لَظُلْمٌ عَظِيمٌ. When Luqman told his son, my son, don't take another Lord, another God other than Allah. Shirk is great oppression. لَظُلْمٌ عَظِيمٌ. You're oppressing yourself, you're oppressing Allah. يَا بُنَيَّ أَقِمِ الصَّلَاةِ. My son, establish salah. You see, he didn't say, salli, just pray. Aqim, establish salah. Meaning not just once, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and then you stop, and then you quit. No, every day. Aqim as-salah, wa'amur bil ma'roof, wanha anil munkar. Order the good, forbid the evil. Wasbir ala ma asabak. And be patient over the calamities that are inflicted upon you. Have perseverance. Be patient. Life is not smooth. Life is not easy. Life has its ups and downs. Life is like a roller coaster. Yawmun laka wa yawmun alayk. One day it's a good day for you. One day it's a bad day for you. This is life. Nothing stays constant. The bad doesn't stay constant. The good doesn't stay constant. وَاصْبِرْ عَلَى مَا أَصَابَكَ إِنَّ ذَلِكَ مِنْ عَزْمِ الْأُمُورِ. This is how you learn. وَلَا تُصَعِّرْ خَدَّكَ لِلنَّاسِ. And don't give your cheeks to people to step on, to make you a punching bag, to make you a doormat. Don't let people step on you, take advantage of you. وَلَا تُصَعِّرْ خَدَّكَ لِلنَّاسِ وَلَا تَمْشِ فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَحًا. And at the same time, don't walk on earth arrogantly, thinking that you're someone special, thinking that you're untouchable, thinking that you're invincible. No, you don't become a doormat for others, nor do you become ignorant, arrogant with others. وَلَا تَمْشِ فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَحًا إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ كُلَّ مُخْتَالٍ فَخُورٍ. Allah does not like those who are arrogant, those who are proud. وَاقْصُدْ فِي مَشِّكَ. And when you walk, walk moderately. Don't walk arrogantly so that people think you are arrogant. And don't walk lousily where anyone can come and push you and take advantage of you. وَغْضُضْ مِنْ صَوْتِكَ. And when you speak, speak gently. Speak calmly. You don't have to shout. You don't have to raise your voice. إِنَّ أَنْكَرَ الْأَصْوَاتِ لَصَوْتُ الْحَمِيرِ. The worst of sounds are the sounds of donkeys. This is life coaching, my dear friends. This is when you hold your son and you coach him in life. You teach him the secrets of life. You teach him the secrets of your success. You teach him what faith and iman is all about. You teach him what masculinity is all about. You teach him how a man has to behave with a woman, how he treats a woman, how he treats people. Life coaching. How many of us do this? How many of us do this? If we don't do this for our children, we give a chance for others to coach our children. But when they coach them, it's not going to be like me. When someone else grabs my son and he teaches him, God knows what he teaches him. It's not going to be like a father teaching his son. God knows what he teaches him. The child is going to be taught, whether by us or by someone else. So wouldn't it be better that we teach them? My daughter, if my wife or myself, if my wife doesn't teach my daughter, someone else will teach her. A friend will teach her. A bad friend will teach her. And maybe that friend doesn't have my daughter's best interests at heart. She might not teach her the things that I want her to be taught. So isn't it best that I step up? I make time. You see, my dear friends, a lot of us as parents, we think that our job, my job is that I'm an ATM machine. Here's 100, here's another 100, here's another 100, here's my credit card, here's my checkbook. I've done my job as a father. I'm an ATM account. I'm an ATM machine. As long as I give money, to my children and to my wife, I've done my job. No, you're not an ATM machine. Don't think that they only need your money. You know, your kids want more than that. Don't just think that they want your credit card. They need your emotions too, your love, your sympathy. They want our support. They want our encouragement. A son that has his father behind him, he feels he has the entire world behind him. But when a son does not have the blessings of his father, he feels the entire world is against him. To show love, to show support, to show encouragement, advice, admonishment, guidance. This is what they really want from you. Not just your money. Your money won't benefit, but your guidance, your attention. Sometimes parents are greedy, not just with money, but with their attention. To give a couple of minutes to your child, to your teenager, to your son, to your daughter, all they want is some attention. Because one word of guidance sometimes is more valuable than all of the money in the world. You can spend all the money in the world on your son or daughter, but it might not help. But sometimes one word of guidance will help. It would set them on the right track. It will benefit them forever. They might not remember our money that we give them. When we die, and we will all die, and our kids will stay, they might not remember our money, but they'll remember our love, our affection, our sympathy, our warmness, our words. One word of guidance, one word of advice, one word of admonishment, it goes a long way. It goes a long way. You know, my father, may Allah bless your fathers and protect them. And if they've gone, may Allah bless their souls. I've learned so much from him. So much from him. Everything that I know is from my father. But my mother too. My mother as well. My mother, I've learned a lot of wisdom from her. A lot of wisdom. She might not have been to traditional schools, but she carries wisdom more than those who have. And I've learned so much. Short quotes, very straight to the point. Not sugar-coated, not politically correct. She says it as it is. Sometimes very blunt. A couple of nights ago, I told you one of her quotes. She would always say, walk behind the one who makes you cry, not the one that makes you laugh. There's two types of friends. One that always makes you laugh, flatters you. And one that makes you cry, that is true to you, that is serious with you. Walk behind the one that makes you laugh, not the one that makes you cry, not the one that makes you laugh. Amongst her short quotes, she would always say, and this is a hadith, النجاة في الصدق. She would always say, Ibni, النجاة في الصدق. You will always find the right way in honesty. Don't think that you can get out of a situation by lying. النجاة في الصدق. You will always be rescued by telling the truth. A police officer stops you, be honest. You're stopped at the airport, be honest. You enter your job and you were late, be honest. Don't lie. Because we lie to get out of trouble, but we get in more trouble. Just be honest. She would always tell us this. Always tell us this. And she even had quotes in Farsi. Words of wisdom in Farsi. Although my mother was Arab, she's Iraqi, but she learned a little bit of Farsi. And sometimes she would repeat wisdom in Farsi that I still remember. I always remember. She would say, regarding a relationship between two brothers and a nephew as well. She would say, Baradar pusht, Baradar zadeham pusht, Derakhte bi baradar ki konad rusht. A brother is the backbone to his brother. Have you seen a tree that needs the backing of a wood? Baradar push, baradar zadeham push. Your brother is your backbone and your nephew is also your backbone. A tree that doesn't have backing can never grow. I will never remember this. I will never forget this. And I would always remember her telling my brother when his daughter would ask him something, she would tell him, let's go out, let's do this. She would recite him this verse of poetry in Farsi. She would say, Agar nazi konad dukhtar kharidarish pedar bashad. When your daughter wants something from you, she begs you as a father, don't say no to her. Don't turn her down. This, to me, it's worth millions of dollars. If she had given us millions of dollars, to me, it's not worth these verses of poetry, of wisdom that we've learned from our parents. This is what we passed on to our children. Our money will go. Our money will be forgotten, but it's advice, admonishment, wisdom that we pass on to our children that will be cherished forever. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Rule number 2, my dear friends, I don't wish to take too much of your time. Rule number 2, as parents, we cannot be hypocrites. Many of us, we act as hypocrites. Why? We tell our kids one thing, but we do something else. We cannot preach to them something that we don't practice themselves. If I tell my teenage son or daughter, you cannot smoke, I can't smoke either, because that's hypocritical. That's hypocritical. If I tell them, don't use your iPhone as much, I have to put my iPhone away. I can't tell them to behave in one way, and I behave in another. I have my iPhone in my hand, and I tell them, put your iPhone away. It doesn't work that way. One day, a mother came to Rasulullah. She told him, Ya Rasulullah, my son eats too many dates. You know, back then, dates were like candy. People would eat dates like candy. It's like our kids today that eat too much candy, and they lose their teeth. So she came and she told him, my son eats too many dates. I want you to speak to him. Tell him that it's not good for his health. He said, okay, but not today. Tomorrow. She said, okay. So he came tomorrow. She brought him to Rasulullah. Rasulullah told him, listen, eating too many dates is not healthy. He said, okay, Ya Rasulullah, I will listen to you. I will stop eating too many dates. He left. His mother, she told him, Ya Rasulullah, this was very simple. It took 1 minute of your time. Why could you have not done this yesterday? He said, because yesterday I ate too many dates. I ate too many dates. How can I tell him not to eat? You see, my dear friends, we have to first implement before we tell our children. You cannot tell him pray on time when you delay your salah. First you pray on time, and then you tell him to pray on time. Children learn from actions, not from words. They learn from our actions. I could give 1,000 lectures and be the most eloquent speaker, but if my actions don't match my words, it's nothing. It means it's meaningless. It's meaningless. Because all it takes for our children to catch us in hypocrisy once, and we lose our credibility. They will never trust us again. We lose our credibility and ultimately our influence. Because they caught us in hypocrisy once. You'll be like, Dad, you don't implement what you say. You don't implement the things that you tell me. You want me to implement? It's impossible. Be honest, and your children will learn to be honest. Be generous, and your children will learn to be generous. Be active members in your community, and your children will follow. The most successful parents in the world are those who teach by actions, not by words. I know some parents, they don't speak a single word to their children, but they set a good example. They set a good example. They set the right example, and their kids follow. You don't need to speak. All you have to do is set the right example, and they will follow. And the Quran also says this. The Quran says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, lima taquluna ma la taf'alun. Kabura maqtan 'inda Allahi an taqulu ma la taf'alun. O you who believe, why do you say things that you don't do? That you don't implement? It's a grave sin to Allah that we say things that we do not implement ourselves. Rule number 3. Don't always be so negative. Be positive. When your kids do something right, tell them. Don't just concentrate on the negative, but mention the positive as well. Don't just criticize all the time. Mention their good qualities, and everyone has good qualities and bad qualities. It's impossible that your child only has bad qualities and doesn't have good qualities. The same way that you criticize them for their bad qualities, for example, they don't pray on time, but you praise them for the good things that they do. They do their homework. Or the opposite. They pray on time, but they don't do their homework. Praise them for praying on time, but you criticize them for not doing their homework. You give credit when credit is due, and you criticize when you need to. You don't criticize all the time. This is the best way to advise. By complimenting sometimes. By complimenting. You know, let me give you an example. It's like visiting someone's house over for dinner, and someone's worked very hard to cook you a meal. They cooked you dinner, and the lady, she says, you know, you didn't eat much. You know, in our culture, you can eat this much, and the house owner will still say you didn't eat much. You ate so much, but it's cultural that you tell the guests you didn't eat anything. You might compliment one of the dishes. You compliment this dish, immediately they discover, for example, you didn't like the other dish. Sometimes you advise through complimenting. You tell your son, I like the fact that you wake up early in the morning. I like the fact that you pray on time. That means a lot. Why? Because he will want to work on other aspects. All children want to make their parents proud. That moment when he says, I'm proud of you, or the mother says, I'm proud, you've made me proud, this means the world. This means the world. So when you praise them for one aspect, but you don't praise for the other, they will make sure they will work hard on the other aspect. But when you criticize everything about them, they will stop trying. They will say, my father, my mother, they're not fair. They're unjust. Because no matter how hard I try, with my salah, with my grades, with my friends, with my online activities, no matter how hard I try, it seems like I cannot please my parents. So I'll stop trying altogether. This happens. If we're negative all the time, and we don't show them positivity, and we don't praise them for the good that they do, this is wrong. And the Quran says, وَلَا تَبْخَسُ النَّاسَ أَشْيَاءَهُمْ. Give credit when credit is due, even to your enemies. Even to people that you dislike. When they do something good, tell them. Because when people do bad, we immediately tell them. Immediately. As a speaker, as an Islamic center, when people don't see something when they see something they don't like, they immediately come and tell. But when you see something you like, also speak out. Also speak out. This is part of human nature. We only speak out when we dislike something. But when you like something, also say it. And this applies to our children as well. وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. Tell people good. Speak kindly to people. At the same time, do not give a free pass. We should not give a free pass to our children. There are some parents, they give a free pass all the time. They never hold their children accountable. Not only that, but they defend. So when someone says that, why is your daughter like this? Why does she behave like this? We make up excuses. No, it's because she's having a rough time at school. She has exams. She didn't mean to be impolite when she entered the masjid and didn't say salam to you. It's because there's stress and anxiety. Why make up excuses? Why can we make up excuses? A lot of us, we make up justifications and excuses for our children. We never hold them accountable. Even when they commit big mistakes, we never hold them accountable. And this is a mistake as well. These are two extremes. When you're always negative, when you never give credit when credit is due, or when you never hold them accountable. You never tell them that this was a mistake and I will hold you accountable. This is wrong. The hadith says, مَنْ أَمِنَ الْعِقَابِ أَسَاءَ الْأَدَبِ. He who knows there's no punishment at all will do worse. Will do worse. They'll only become worse. Some parents are like that. They only justify for their kids. They make excuses for their kids. They're always in defense with other parents in gatherings. They're always in defense mode of their kids. No, my son is going through a rough time. Or no, he's doing great. No, he's not doing great. You don't need to make justifications. Call him out. Rule number 4. Do not make comparisons. And I had to learn this for my own kids. I had to learn this for my own kids. Sometimes we make comparisons. Why is your cousin better than you? Your cousin gets better grades than you. Your brother dresses better than you. Your sister doesn't put on makeup like you. They don't like this. Kids don't like comparisons. They do not like to be compared to friends, cousins, siblings. Your cousin gets better grades. Your brother dresses better. He gets a better haircut. Oh my God, don't let me get started on haircuts. Today, our kids, they go to barbers. They come back, their hair is longer. How is that? I don't understand. It comes back longer. Your brother gets better haircuts than you. They don't like that. They don't like comparisons. Or your sister, when she was your age, she never stayed out this hour. She would come back earlier. You stay out longer. You see, comparisons, they create resentment. Two cousins, they're loving cousins, but when you compare one to another, why don't you become like your cousin? They'll start to hate their cousin. Why don't you learn something from your brother? They'll start to hate their brother. Learn from your sister. They'll hate their sister. It causes resentment. It causes tension. And it's not a race. I've come to learn that it's not a race. Every child has his own pace. Don't compare siblings. Don't compare cousins. The older brother might be different from the younger brother. They all have their own challenges and their own opportunities. It's not a race between siblings. It's not a race between cousins. Stop comparing with your cousins. Your cousins gets better grades. He got accepted at this university, but you didn't. These comparisons can be disastrous. Why? Because each child has, when I say child, as old as we get, in the eyes of our children, in the eyes of our parents, we're still children. I can be 50 years old, but in the eyes of my parents, I'm still a child. Each child has his strength and has his weaknesses. No one is perfect. Maybe your son's cousin gets better grades, but your son prays. His cousin doesn't pray. Maybe your daughter's cousin puts on better hijab. Your daughter doesn't wear hijab. But your daughter's cousin, maybe she talks to guys. She has friends. She goes out with them. Your daughter doesn't. She doesn't wear hijab. It doesn't mean that you let her slide. No. But each child has his strength and her strength and their weaknesses. No one is perfect from every angle. One doesn't get good grades, but they pray. Or they pray, but has bad friends. Or they don't have bad friends, but they stay up all night. No one's perfect from every angle. We need to stop making comparisons. Instead, let's concentrate on our children, on themselves, without comparisons. Let's work on you, on your strength, on your weaknesses, without comparisons. Let's not make them feel this is a race. It's a competition between them and their siblings, or between them and community members, or them and their cousins. Each person grows on their own pace. And even the Quran would tell Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, don't make comparisons. Don't look at others. Concentrate on yourself. وَلَا تَمُدَّنَّ عَيْنَيْكَ إِلَى مَا مَتَّعْنَا بِهِ أَزْوَاجًا مِنْهُمْ زَهْرَةَ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا لِنَفْتِنَهُمْ فِيهِ وَرِزْقُ رَبِّكَ خَيْرٌ وَأَبْقَى. Don't look at others. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't look at what others have. Or your friend's son got accepted, for example, at NYU, but your son did not get accepted at NYU. That's fine. It's not a disaster. But maybe your son has better qualities. Sure, he didn't get accepted at NYU, but he has better qualities. Concentrate on those qualities. Number 5, we have to learn to give and take with our kids. Dictatorship does not work. Tyranny at home does not work. You cannot become a dictator. You have to give and take. And this is what I tell my kids as well. Give and take. You give me something, I give you something. You do something for me, and I'll do something for you. You want to go out with your friends on the weekend? Sure, go out, but come to a majlis, for example. Get me these good grades, and you'll get something in return. It's give and take. It's give and take. You cannot win every battle. You can't get him to pray on time and her to wear hijab and give up makeup and get excellent grades and get the haircut that you want and have it always your way. It doesn't work that way. There has to be give and take. There are some things that you will have to compromise, and there are things that you cannot compromise. Salah is not a compromise. A haircut might be a compromise. Going out on Friday night might be compromised, but there are some things that cannot be compromised. There has to be give and take. You can't have it your way all the time. It doesn't work that way. Choose your battles wisely. As parents, what are your priorities? And what are things that there could be leeway with? There could be leeway with. You can't fight every battle. Even Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa in the Holy Quran, the Quran tells him, خُذِ الْعَافِ وَأْمُرْ بِالْعُرْفِ وَأَعْرِضْ عَنِ الْجَاهِلِينَ. خُذِ الْعَافِ, it means, Ya Rasulullah, don't be tough on people all the time. Take that which they can manage to do. Someone tells you, Ya Rasulullah, I cannot donate 20 dinars. I can donate 5 dinars. Take it from him. Don't say, no, this is rejected from you. خُذِ الْعَافِ. Take from people based on their capabilities, what they're capable of. Khalas. That's how we deal with our kids. Rule number 6, and this is the final rule, our kids will change. They will eventually change. Today, you might have a daughter, 16 years old, 17 years old, she's being extremely difficult. Your 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old son is being extremely difficult. It's not going to be that way for the rest of their life. They're going through changes. They're undergoing changes. It's called puberty. Biological changes. It's normal for kids, teens, to become rebellious, to object, to say no, to pick fights, to have fights every day. But this is not going to stay forever. Right now, they're in a stage where they think they know everything. And their parents don't know anything. Their parents are clueless and they know everything. But a day will come as they grow older, they will realize, my dad did know some things. My mom was right. My dad was right sometimes. And then they'll reach a stage when they will say, we were wrong. And my dad was right. My mom was right. But this is when? This is 10 years from now. When they've passed the stage, and now they're getting ready to get married, and now they're ready to have kids. They're like, oh my God, this is what I put my parents through, what my kids are putting me through. I put them through this. They will change. They will not stay like this forever. Today, it's challenging. It's challenging, especially in America, to raise teenagers in America. Raising teenagers anywhere is difficult, but specifically in America. But what you see from them at the age of 15, it will not stay like this at the age of 20. They will change. They will become smarter, they'll become wiser, they'll become more mature. They'll gain maturity. It comes with time. They will not always remain difficult and disobedient. This means that we have to be patient. We have to be patient. Don't give up. Don't say, I've lost hope in my son. Khalas. I've lost hope in my daughter. My daughter will never change. Oh, don't say that. They will change. They will come around. They will reach a point where they'll realize they've made a mistake. And by the way, we went through those stages as well. The same way our kids give us a hard time, we gave a hard time to our parents. We forgot. Some people have amnesia. They forget what they did to their parents when they were teenagers. We also gave a hard time to our parents, but look at us now. Some of us are parents, some of us are grandparents. So too will our children. Wa sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. The youth of Karbala were mature. They were wise. They had wisdom. Although they were kids, they were youth. They had ambitions like all other kids, like all other youth. They also wanted to get married. They also wanted to grow old and find a wife and have children, but they gave all that up for the sake of Imam Hussein. بلغوا الحلوم بقربهم شوقا إلى الهيجاء لا الحسناء خضبوا وما شابوا وكان خضابهم. that they grew old on the day of Ashura, and their beards became drenched, not with henna, but rather with blood. It became red. And he asked for permission to enter the battlefield. The Imam said no. He said, why? He said, because today your mother lost your father. I don't want her to lose you as well. He said, Sayyidi, by God, it is my mother that sent me. It is my mother that sent me. The Imam said no. He goes, he tells his mother holds his hands, and she comes back to Imam Hussein. She tells him, Ya Aba Abdullah, أتثكل بك أمك الزهراء ولا أثكل بولدي? Your mother will sit and bereave you and mourn you, and I will not bereave my son. Let him enter the battlefield. The Imam gives him permission. He enters the battlefield and he recites, أميري حسين ونعم الأمير سرور فؤاد البشير النذير علي وفاطمة والداه فهل تعلمون له من نظير. He fights very bravely until he falls. Ali al-Akbar rushes to him. He sits next to him. He tells him, my son, my brother, is there any request that you have for me? He said, Na'am, I do have a request. انقلوا رحل أمي إلى رحالكم. Let my mother sleep in your woman's tent tonight, because tonight my mother is all alone. She's lost me and she's lost her father and my father. Tonight, my dear brothers and sisters, is the night of Ashura. Allahu Akbar. What is happening in the tent of Imam Hussein tonight, in that mukhayyam? The hadith says that the soldiers of Imam Hussein, the camp of Imam Hussein, tonight they spend the night in worship, in salah, in dua. ما بين قائم وقاعد وراكع وساجد كان لأصحاب النبي كان لأصحاب الحسين دوي كدوي النحل ما بين قائم وقاعد وراكع وساجد. Tonight in Karbala, in the camp of Imam Hussein, there was the buzzing, like the buzzing of a bee. Worshippers, prayers, dua, Quran. One would stand, one would perform ruku', one would perform sujood. On a night like this, Imam Hussein alayhi salam stood up to give a speech. He gave a lecture, and he said, "Inna hadha al-layl." He turned off the candle. He turned off the candle, and he told them that this night we will turn off the candle, and he who wishes to leave may leave. Let me tell you this first. There was a man by the name of Tariq ibn Ziyad. Tariq ibn Ziyad, he fought in Gibraltar, in between Morocco and Spain. Tariq ibn Ziyad had an island in Spain, and he was fighting, and his soldiers were with him. They were on an island. He took the ships and he broke them and he burnt them. And then he told his soldiers that were about to face the enemy, he told them, Al-adu amamakum wal-bahru wara'akum. That the enemy is facing you and the water, the ocean, is behind you. Meaning what? Meaning you have to fight. Meaning you have no other option. You have to fight. And they fought and they were victorious. As for Imam Hussein on the night of Ashura, he told them, if you want to leave, you may leave. None of you have to fight. This is my fight. These people are here to get me. They want to kill me. They don't want to kill you. He turned off the candle and he said, whoever wishes to leave may leave. إِنَّ هَذَا اللَّيْلِ قَدْ غَشِيَكُمْ فَاتَّخِذُوهُ جَمَلًا. You may leave in the middle of the night and we will not ask for any of you. No one will hold you accountable. They turned on back the candle and all of them were sitting. All of them were sitting. Habib ibn Madahir, Zuhair ibn al-Qaym, Durayd, Burayr, Zuhair, Muslim ibn Awsaja, all of them were sitting. And then he told them, إِنِّي لَمْ أَرَ أَصْحَابًا خَيْرًا مِّنْ أَصْحَابِي. I've never seen companions more loyal than my own companions. وَلَا أَهْلَ بَيْتٍ أَبَرْ وَأَوْفَى مِنْ أَهْلِ بَيْتِي. And I have not seen family members more loyal and more compassionate than my own family members. Here Durayd stands up. He says, يَا ابْنَ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ وَاللَّهِ لَوْ نُقْتَلْ ثُمَّ نُحْرَقْ ثم يرمى بنا ثم يرمى الرماد في الهواء ثم نحيا ثم نقتل ثم نحرق ثم يرمى برمادنا في الهواء يفعل بذلك بنا 1000 مرة لما تركناك. Durayd says, my master, what are you saying? You die and we live. لا خير في الحياة بعدك يا ابن رسول الله. You die and we live. He says, by God, if they kill me and they burn me and they wither my ashes in the wind and I'm resurrected and they kill me and they burn me and they wither my ashes in the wind and they do this to me 1,000 times, we would not leave you, Ibn Rasulullah. Oh, the son of Fatima, we live and you die? The son of Fatima dies in broad daylight and we live? La khayra fil hayat. These were the companions of Imam Hussein on the night of Ashura. Sayyidah Zainab, salamullahi alayha, she comes out on the night of Ashura. She sees the camp of Imam Hussein. Imam Hussein is getting ready for battle. And she sees the other side. They're ready for battle. Sayyidah Zainab was nervous. She was nervous. She calls for Habib ibn Madahir. She tells Ali al-Akbar, call me Habib ibn Madahir. I want to speak to him. Habib ibn Madahir comes. She tells him, Ya Habib, Ya Ahm, my brother's all alone. My brother's lonely. Don't keep him lonely. Tells him, Zainab, لَأَنْعُمَنِّكِ عَيْنَا, rest assured that as long as we're alive, nothing will happen to your brother. Nothing will happen to your brother. They came and they had an army parade in front of Sayyidah Zainab, all the ashab, telling her that as long as we're alive, nothing will happen to your brother. This was the night of Ashura. Now, we've recited the masa'ib of all of the ashab. I remember my father, he would always say that when you give a gift, when you take a bouquet of flowers to someone, beautiful flowers, different colors, and you offer this beautiful bouquet of flowers, you keep the most beautiful flower on top. It's a tiny flower that you put on top. Imam Hussein alayhi salam gave all of his companions, Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas, Ali al-Akbar, al-Qasim, Habib, Zuhair, Durayd, Burayr, all of them, Muslim ibn Awsajah, he was left with his infant. He decided to give his infant as well to Allah. أعطى الذي ملكت يداه إلهه حتى الجنين فداه كل جنين. He gave everything that he had, including his infant. Sayyidah Zainab comes to her brother, Akhi Aba Abdullah, take your infant is dying from thirst. He's dying from thirst. Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he sees the baby was not able to open his eyes, his mouth dry. He leaves his armor, he leaves his sword, and he goes to the enemy soldiers, meaning, I have not come to fight you. I've come in peace. If I have committed a crime, what crime has this infant committed? Give him some water. The enemies, they huddle. One says, Isqih, we will give him water. Another says, Naqtuluh, we will slaughter him. Harmala did not know what to do. Umar bin Sa'd looks to Harmala and he says, Ya Harmala, اقطع نزاع القوم, end the discussion, meaning make a kill and throw your arrow. Harmala looked, he didn't know who to throw. He didn't know that Umar bin Sa'd, he meant the father or the son. He said, Al-walid am al-walad, should I kill the father or should I kill the son? Here Umar bin Sa'd told Harmala, Ya Harmala, ama tara bayad nahr al-tif, do you not see the white neck of the child? Meaning, go for the child. Harmala later on said, on the day of Ashura, I shot 3 arrows. 3 arrows. One landed in the eye of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. The second landed in the chest of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. But the one that broke my heart was the arrow that was shot at the neck of the child. It entered from one side and came out the other. Blood started gushing. فَدَبَحَهُ مِنَ الْوَرِيدِ إِلَى الْوَرِيدِ. All of a sudden, Imam Hussein alayhi salam saw his child shaking in his hands. He saw the blood dripping from his neck. He grabbed He grabbed a handful underneath the neck of Abdullah until his hand was filled with blood, and he threw it to the sky. Imam al-Baqir says that not a drop came back. And then he said, هَوَّنَ عَلَيَّ مَا نَزَلَ بِي أَنَّهُ بِعَيْنِ اللَّهِ اللهم لا يكون هذا أهون عليك من فصيل. Oh Allah, what brings me comfort is that you are watching. Oh Allah, did you see what they did to my infant? Imam Hussein takes Abdullah back to the camp. His daughter Sukaina sees him. أبتاه أين أخي عبد الله وهل سقيته ماء وهل بقي من الماء شيء. My father, where's my brother Abdullah? Did you quench his thirst? And is there any water remaining? Imam told her, Haki akhaki madbuha, take your son. They brought Abdullah back to the tent, and they brought him back to his mother Rabab. Imagine what was happening when Rabab saw 6-month-old Abdullah slaughtered from one side to another. Yabni Abdullah ya ghali. She would sing to Abdullah these sleepless nights that she had with Abdullah. Now Abdullah is gone. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. It was now time for Imam Hussein alayhi salam to prepare for battle. He wears his armor, he carries his sword, he comes to the tent of the women and children, and he says, Ya Zainab wa ya Kulthum wa ya Sukayna wa ya Ruqayya wa ya Rabab alaykunna minni salam. فهذا آخر الاجتماع. My sister Zainab and Kulthum, my daughter Sukayna and Ruqayya, my wife Rabab, I am about to leave you. Allah will watch over you. They come out of the tents. هذه تقبل يديه وأخرى تقبل رجليه وأخرى تقول إنا أين يا حمانا. One would kiss his hand, another would kiss his feet, one would tell him, where are you going, our protector? And then he said, من ذا يقدم لي جوادي, who will bring my horse? I need someone to bring my horse. His sister brings him. His sister Zainab brings him his horse, and she says, أي أخت تقدم لأخيها جواد المنية. Which sister brings the horse of death to her brother? Imam Hussein rides his horse. He bids them all farewell. He's entering the battlefield. Bismillah wa billah wa fi sabilillah wa ala millati rasulillah. As he's entering the battlefield, he hears a voice from behind him. Mahlan mahla ya ibn az-Zahra. Oh the son of Fatima, not so fast. Stop for a moment. He turns around and it's his sister Zainab. أخي أبا عبد الله قف لي هنيئة انزل من على ظهر جوادك. My dear brother, this is the final time. I will not stop you again. Please come down from your horse. The Imam came down from his horse. Zainab approaches him. She told him, أخي أبا عبد الله اكشف لي عن صدرك وعن نحرك. Expose your chest and expose your neck. He exposed his chest and his neck. She came and she kissed him on his chest and on his neck, and then she looked towards Medina and she says, Ummah, laqad addaytu al-amana. My mother, I did exactly like you told me. Imam Hussein tells her, my sister, you're breaking my heart. What are you talking about? She said, when it was the final day in my mother's life, she said, you will see your brother all alone, without a supporter, without family members. That day, kiss him on his neck and on his chest and tell him, this is from your mother Fatima. Imam Hussein alayhi salam enters the battlefield. He goes inside to meet the enemy. Zainab goes back to the tent along with the women and children. Moments later, minutes later, they hear the horse coming back to the tent. They thought that Imam Hussein had come back. They opened the tent, but they saw the horse all by himself. without the night, without the rider. Zainab alayha salam comes out from the tent. She comes, she leaves the mukhayyam, she stands on the hill, and she sees Shamr ibn al-Jawshan approaching Aba Abdullah. Shout with me, Ya Hussein! Wa mazloom! او می دویدم من می دویدم او سوی مقتل من سوی قاتل او می نشستم من می نشستم او روی سینه من در مقابل او می کشید و من می کشیدم او از کمر تیغ من آه باطل او می برید و من می بریدم او از حسین سر من از او دل گلی گم کرده ام می جویم او را گلی گم کرده ام می جویم او را به هر گل میرسم می بویم او را گل من یک نشانه بر بدن داشت یکی پیراهن کهنه به تن داشت اگر پیدا کنم زیبای گل را به آب دیدگانه می شویم او را انا لله و انا الیه راجعون وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين.